Okay. So hi everyone. Welcome to the SCSE Club today. This week we are introducing you BioVinci, our new visualization platform, and I'm Hazel, BioTuring's scientist. And actually with me today is it's kind of like a surprise. I just invited her shortly, and she's Kelly. She's the main and she's also the product owner and also the back-end developer of BioVinci, and this is Kelly. Okay, so I'm sorry. And to introducing BioVinci today first, I would like to give you a quick introduction of, I'm sorry, let me put on the slideshow. Okay, of what is BioVinci and why do we need BioVinci? So basically, BioVinci is a visualization platform, and it will be like a central hub for all BioTuring ecosystem where you can export figures from BBrowserX, SmartBulk, and even SpatialX to it, and then you can further modify your figures, and finally you can export high quality format, or we usually call it is publicly is it ready to use for public. And at the same time, you can also share your projects with your colleges. Okay, so that's like a quick introduction of BioVinci. Now we'll go and maybe I will give Kelly a quick talk about BioVinci in general and what do we have in BioVinci. So Kelly, please go ahead.
Hi everyone. I'm Kelly and I'm the brand owner of BioVinci, and it is my pleasure to first on the SCSE Club today to meet you. So BioVinci is one of our latest steps in supporting scientific communication data visualization in the BioTuring ecosystem. So some of you may remember that we have the Vinci application and also the original BioVinci desktop versions, which were previously available as a standalone application. But over the year, we also heard from many users, including the researchers, the bioinformaticians, and also collaborators about the ongoing need of a platform that make it easier to generate high-quality scientific figures and reports from complex biological data. So we keep that feedback in mind and guide our development of the new BioVinci. It's not just a replacement, but we want to focus in an integrated solution. So now the idea is that within the BioTuring ecosystem, you can have the figures, the visualization from the analytical result, and then export to BioVinci for editing, customizing. Whether you are preparing the figures for the manuscript or presenting the findings to collaborators, or you want to explore the data together with your college, it is the place where you can have the figure that support your need. So today in my sessions, my colleague Hazel will walk you through the current features of the beta release of BioVinci, and we will demonstrate how it integrate into your existing analytic pipeline. And then if we have time, I would love that we can discuss what's coming next for the visualization and for the scientific communication journey.
Okay. Thank you, Kelly, for your very nice introduction of Vinci. Also, the history of BioVinci. And please, along the way, if you have any questions about the current, the upcoming BioVinci or the previous Vinci, please let us know in the chat, and we will try to answer all of your questions right away. Okay, so just to repeat what Kay just said, that BioVinci will be like a centralization for visualization in our ecosystem. So as you may know that in BioTuring ecosystem, we have multiple analytic platforms like SpatialX, SmartBulk, BBrowserX Pro, and the Talk to Data. And at the end of the day, when you do research, you want to publish your findings, right? And one of the most, I believe, one of the most important features in publication is the figures, or like the charts that you reproduce or you produce from your data. And that's where BioVinci come to action. In BioVinci, you can you can collect all the figures, you can edit, and at the end of the day, you can export visualization from all the applications. And we believe that it will be super helpful for multiomics research, because in here we are talking about the single cell RNA-seq, the bulk RNA-seq, and also the spatial data as well. Okay, right now, if you go to BioTuring's ecosystem, you will be able to use BioVinci within SmartBulk, BBrowserX Pro, and talk to data. For SpatialX, we are still working on it, but it will be available very soon. Okay, now coming up next, here are some of the charts that are supported to be exported from BBrowserX Pro. So as you can see here, we are talking about some kind of basic charts like the t-SNE map, the scatter plot, and also some of the basic charts like the box plot, violin plot, and the bubble heat map. We are also working on, we're trying to support some of more like complex charts. However, please let us know if there are any type of figures, any type of visualization that you would like us to prioritize, and we will try to make it happen. Okay, so I will now go to the BBrowserX Pro and actually show you how and where you can see the BioVinci. Of course, we still have BioVinci as a standalone version. You can access BioVinci directly from our landing page, ecosystem landing page. However, from BBrowserX, first with the scatter plot, right? With the scatter plot, right now we are within one single cell RNA-seq data showing different type of cell types, right? And right here, you can see the button for exporting to Vinci. You can directly export this figure to Vinci, or you can input a gene. Let's say this is, let me put in CD101. Okay. You can either export the scatter plot for, visualizing different cell type clusters, or you can create for a gene and export the scatter plot showing gene expression to Vinci. Okay, there you go. And then you can export that directly to Vinci. Let me try it out. Okay. Oh, it looks like, I'm really sorry because we're still in the beta version. However, yes, I think it's just like a connection issues, but however, you now can be able to export that. And about the basic chart that you can export, here you go. You can hover your mouse over to the visualization tool right here, up here. And within the basic chart, after you query gene, like for example, I'm viewing the interleukin-1 expression in different cell type, right? In different cell type using the violin plot. And I can export this violin plot or the box plot or the bubble heat map to Vinci. And this is one chart. Let me go. Yes, this is the interleukin-1 box plot that I already exported to Vinci. Okay, now that's what you can do with the BBrowserX Pro. Now upcoming next is the SmartBulk. Interestingly, just kind of just a kind of fact that Kelly here is actually the product owner for both SmartBulk and Vinci. So yes, these are all her products. And within SmartBulk, we have more type of figures that that's supported. For example, we have the volcano plot from the DGE. You can also export this to BioVinci right now. And okay, and here, let me show you quickly within SmartBulk, how can you, and what kind of figures you can export to. Okay, this is SmartBulk. This is SmartBulk, and right now, there are mainly three features that you can export these charts. Here, let me open for you. So first of all, I'm within ANOVA, and after you performing ANOVA analysis, you can export the box plot, the count box plot for individual genes to Vinci. Here, let me try to close this one, and there you go. You see the Vinci logo again. And not just that, but within the DGE as well. Within the DGE, you can export both the volcano plot and the cowpox plot to BioVinci. Okay. I think it will need a second to load. Let me wait for it. But basically, whenever you explore the platform, whenever you see the little BioVinci logo, that means you can export that kind of chart to BioVinci. Okay. And here is some of the summarize of how you can detect whether a chart can be exported or not. On the BBrowserX Pro, you will be able to see the big button for export to Vinci, and within SmartBulk, you will see a little logo, which is the BioVinci logo. Okay. And that is like a quick summary of what what platforms and what kind of figures can be linked with BioVinci for now. And now I would like to give like a quick use case on how you can actually utilize BioVinci for multiomics data or like multiomics data investigation. So this is actually one use case that I used in SCSE Club before using SmartBulk to investigate some of the common genes that express across different kind of IBDs like Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. And within that, we found that the interleukin-1R1 is one of the very commonly upregulate genes within Crohn's disease and the ulcerative colitis comparing to normal. And actually, within the use case today, I just want to show you how you can investigate the gene expression in SmartBulk, and you can go beyond that, go further than that to investigate the interleukin-1 expression using single cell data. So first, this is the previous presentation in SCSE Club. You can find that episode within our YouTube channel about IBD on using SmartBulk. Okay, and here within SmartBulk, we perform ANOVA analysis to find some of the commonly regulated genes in IBD or the inflammatory bowel disease, a very, very common intestinal tract disease. And along that, we found out that interleukin-1, this is one cytokine with both pro and anti-inflammatory roles, and it involved in immune cell regulation and inflammation in IBD. And when we run ANOVA using, samples coming from both Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis, which are, the two most popular kind of IBD disease. Comparing to normal, the interleukin-1 shows significantly increased expression in the ulcerative colitis comparing to both Crohn's disease and normal. So as you can see that from both data in general, we have ulcerative colitis higher than Crohn's disease and then higher than normal. And actually, I already have this figure exported and ready to use in BioVinci, as I can show you right now. So in here, I can go to the ANOVA, right? I can go to the ANOVA, that's the actual study there, and query for interleukin-1. Okay. And there you go, the figure, you can export this figure to Vinci. And now, all the figures exported from the same dataset or the same project will be stored in one same project within Vinci. So this is very convenient for you guys to really, generate a lot of figures and then go back and look at the actual stories that you want to tell using those figures. And now, there you go. You can see that interleukin-1 again, highest in UC, lower in Crohn's disease, and lowest in normal. And here are some of the other figures that I exported from the same data set. However, our main, main point here is to investigate the interleukin-1 expression in single cell data. Okay, now, how can I find the single cell data first? First, I actually go to talk to data and find this data set. I found this one. I found this data set about the longitudinal single cell atlas of anti-tumor necrosis factor treatment in IBD. So basically the samples, the IBD samples in this single cell data set, they were treated with anti-tumor or like anti-TNF. It's a very popular IBD treatment. And within that, I actually query for some of the highly expressed interleukin-1 cells. There you go, here. And now I will try to compare to see whether the expression of interleukin-1 in single cell is different from that of the bulk RNA-seq. Okay, in the basic chart again, with the interleukin-1, we will visualize by different conditions. Okay, different conditions right here. Okay, now condition, we have 3 conditions: chronic disease, normal, and UC. Here we go. And interestingly, in the in the single cell data, we don't see that much of clear trend of difference, even though we still see that normal samples somehow is still lower than that of chronic disease and the UC. And we can also export this chart to BioVinci. Oh, but before that, I should switch to the box plot so it matches the chart format with that one in SmartBulk. Okay, I can export that to BioVinci. Here we go. Okay. And let me try to open this one. And this one for the UC. Here you go. This one for interleukin-1. We can see that let me switch to this one. Okay. The IBD. Here we go. We can see that the trend for interleukin-1 in single cell is not that clear as the trend for the bulk RNA-seq data. However, I believe that there are many factors that can interfere with this, coming from the fact that the samples in this, single cell study, it were treated with the anti-TNF treatment, and also we're also talking about what cells, what cell types actually expressing interleukin-1. However, let me go back to the slide, and I will show you the the actual concept that I want to share. That right now, when you go to BioVinci, what do you can see? What you can see is that, let me go back to the BioVinci homepage right there. Like what you can see is that you will be able to see the figures from BBrowserX and SmartBulk stand side by side. And I believe like in a very short term, we will release a feature called like a report where you can actually put the figures from BBrowserX and SmartBulk side by side. So it's much easier for comparing. And it kind of like a way from us to utilize the Multiomics data, where you have the visualization from SmartBulk, this here, and from BBrowserX here. You can then combine them together into like a kind of one same figure. So you can export that figure and present it anywhere else. Okay, that's our upcoming plan for what you can do in BioVinci. And but like what you can do for now. What you can do for now is actually to adjust this type of figure. And let me show you quickly like a quick demo on how you can edit this plot, right? For example, we have this interleukin-1 expression plot from SmartBulk. We can edit this one, click on the edit button. And from that point, let me try to first make this title bigger so I can see the gene name clearer. Also the legend here, I also want to make it bigger. Okay, now the border of the legend also bigger so we can see a little bit down here. Right, and then let me try to, we can actually change the color as well. We can actually change the category color of each one. For example, I can change this one to like Let me try to make it to a more like red color. Okay, indicating that it is expressed really high. Okay, there you go. You can make it like, you can change the color, you can change the component and the size of each, each part of the figure. For example, this input count look a little bit small to me. I will make it bigger and I will make it a little bit further. The group is also. Okay. Another concept that we are thinking about here is the fact that you will not have just one figure. You have like a series of figures, and you don't want to adjust every figures individually. So we are thinking about like having like a what? Uh a concept for setting the configuration for one figure and apply that configuration into every other figures, so that you just need to adjust the color and the size once, and then you can apply to any other else. So in this case, Kelly, do can you put any comment on like what other kind of figures, or I'm sorry, what other kind of features that we are planning to do to make this editing plot, much easier?
So currently from the development side, what we are working on is that in the current figure that you are seeing, we have two components. The first one is the size of the canvas, the white page that like the paper that you plotting the chart in. So normally when you are going to printing or doing the presentation, you like to have all of the figures of the same size. So in this case, we can adjust to make all of the size of the figure similar across different plot. And then we can apply the layout of the chart, like the position of the X, Y, Z, and also the legend consistent across different chart of the same canvas. Moreover, as you see that Hazel take a little bit time to change the color of the specific box plot here, and it apply to the color of the legends. But the step to adjust it from one chart to another chart can be time consuming. So we are also working on the copy, the editing config that you apply for one chart to other chart of the same size. So currently, this is the one of the feature that I can share with you in advance that we have, but we have a lot more incoming.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, Kelly. Okay. Now, actually, another thing we can do right now is sharing. We understand that sharing chart is very important, so we just make it available here. Right now, when you're using BioVinci, you can click on this little sharing button and share it. For example, I want to share it with Kelly. So Kelly, this is your email, right? Okay, let me try to share it to her. And your colleagues can be either viewers or editor of the chart. So you can collab in, editing a chart together, or you can just show them your result. And it's another thing that we receive quite a lot of comment when people don't really want to go deeply into the analysis stuff and, run the analysis again. They just want to see the final result. And I think this is a very convenient way where I can prepare all the result, and Kelly here, as my colleague, can just jump in and view the actual figures. So it's very, very convenient as well. Again, the viewer and add Kelly. And then Kelly can actually go back to her, share with me tab right there, and opening the project. And actually, I think, okay, actually, I think it's quite time consuming. So, but if I share the project, then Kelly will be able to view that project within the share with me tab. Okay, maybe Kelly, you can like try to open your laptop and show people like how you can view the figure within your own account.
Okay, so I share my screen now, so you will be able to see the application. So currently, this is the BioVinci application from my side where I do a lot of the export before. So you see that I have multiple analysis from BBrowserX. And when I come to the share with me tab, this is the data set that Hazel has just shared me, and I have the right as a viewer. So I see that Hazel is the one who shared to me, and I have 5 figures here, and then actually I can click on the project just to see the figure that Hazel has just created. In this case, because I'm only the viewer, so I cannot go into the editing mode. I only see the results. But if the Hazel, next time if you're more generous, you can share with me the editing plot, and then from that editing section, I can coming back to the analysis on SmartBulk to view like where the actual analysis come from. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Kelly, again. So yes, I will share with you as like an editor next time. But now let me just go back. Actually, we are coming to the end of our time. So now I think we still have a few more minutes. I will give you, and actually Kelly, I will give Kelly her right to tell a little bit more about what to expect in BinC. Actually within BinC you can read it. We have the roadmap showing right within the platform, like what already there, the shift, what is in progress we're working on, and what we are planning to do in the future. But in general, here are some of the stuff you can expect in BNC in a very short term. However, I will leave this part to Kelly. So Kelly, please go ahead.
So the currently progress for the BioVinci is that we want to support the users who are analyzing the data with BBrowserX Pro, SmartBulk, and also SpatialX to be able to gather the figures and analytical result in one place, and then they can editing the visualization and to get the publication ready figures for their research purpose. In the short term, our team are now working with the SpatialX team in order to get the spatial transcriptomic visualization to our BioVincis. And at the same time, internal team, we are also trying to implement the basic statistical analysis on the application so that when you have a data table coming from other platforms, you can perform some statistic on that and generate the figure that you want. And moreover, we also focusing on the chart editing option, like for each type of the plot, like the violin, the box plot, and even the scatter plot, they have their unique characteristic that requires to implement different editing panel for each type of plot to satisfy the researcher request. So from our case, our team is very happy that we can serve the researchers. And in case that when you explore the platform and you find that there is some features not available yet, or you want to customize your plot in a specific style that you haven't done it with the OVNC or the BioVinci application before, and you want this to be available on the new version of the BioVinci, do not hesitate to contact us at the support@bioturing.com, and I will be very happy to jump in the call with you, and we can start the discussions about the chart visualization.
Yes, thank you, Kelly, so much. We are expecting a lot from BioVinci. As you can see here, one thing that I think we received like a ton of comments is the please bring the statistical analysis to BioTuring. And yes, good news, we are having that very soon. I think that's kind of like complete the workflow. You can query the gene, you can calculate whether the difference is significant or not. You can export the high quality chart, and you can share. And that's also a quick update on what we have with Vinci. And please, we are showing you some polls to give, please let us know some of your feedback with BioVinci, so what can make us, better. Because this platform is right now under a very, very intensive development phase. So we are welcoming all of the feedbacks from you guys. And again, thank you so much for being here today. And thank you, Kelly, for joining us today. It's very nice of you to be here. And yes, now please let us know if you have any questions I will open the polls for another 2 minutes so you guys can complete it and give you guys some time to share with us any comment or questions that you may have. Okay. Mm. Oh, okay. So we received one question from Shota that is possible to rearrange the item within the legend. Okay. Let me check whether you want to legend show the clusters reorder. Yes, that's one feature that we actually have. Please let me know if I'm referring to the correct thing that you want to answer. So in here in the edit plot, you can actually click on the plot itself, and there is like reorder here where you can, let's say, make it here. You can reorder it now. Right now you can reorder it manually, like here. After I reorder like from chronic disease UC to normal, it will change the legend as well. And in the upcoming release, we are going to have the reorder in terms of like top down values, or you can reorder by naming it. So yes, basically you can reorder it manually now. I hope that answered your questions. Thank you. Okay, here we can turn off the reordering. That should do. Okay, thank you, Shota. And let me see. Oh, okay. So I think that's we a little bit over of time. And now, please, if you have any other questions, please you can send us an email through the support@bioturing.com. And again, thank you so much for joining today. I will end the presentation here and see you again in 2 weeks. Yeah, bye. Thank you.